let's go ahead and start that. The time is 6 o'clock on February 8th, 2021, and I like to call this meeting of the Cultural Arts Commission to order. In the interest of public health and safety, pursuant to the Governor's Executive Order N 2920, members of the Cultural Art Commission and staff are participating in this meeting by teleconference. In accordance with the executive order, the public may view this meeting online, but not in the Civic Center Branch Library Conference Room. The city launched a virtual commenting portal, eComment, that allows residents to comment and participate in the meeting from their own homes. And you can find the link to eComment at www.chulavistacalifornia.gov/virtual meetings. Your comments must be received before I call for the close of the commenting period in order to be considered. After the commenting period is closed, I will announce a brief pause to allow the commissioners time to read any comments that have been received. And if you have any difficulty or need assistance, comment during the meeting, please call 619-691-691-5138 and library staff will assist you. So would the secretary please call roll?
All right, Commissioner Bishop.
I am present.
Commissioner Kosi. Hold on. I see people coming. Commissioner Kosi. Commissioner Maynard.
Here.
Commissioner Redondo.
Here, sorry.
Commissioner Roberts.
Here.
And Vice Chair Rodriguez.
Here.
Commissioner T. Rodriguez.
Here.
Commissioner Ward. Was Commissioner? Oh, it's there. Okay. He was on mute there. And Chair Gray is absent.
Okay. Everyone's called for. Awesome. Let's see. So on our consent calendar, we've got two items: the approval of the December 14th, 2020 meetings, the minutes for that meeting. I'll call. Let's see. We have to approve.
You have the two. You have the two. So you have the approval of the December 14th, the minutes, and then you have the written communications for the absences.
Right. Does everyone have that? Did you receive that?
Yes.
Okay. So why don't we take the time? Let's go ahead and read that, and then we'll continue.
I'd like to motion to approve.
Second.
Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, we have to do the public, the 2-minute public comment thing.
Right. So before that, let's track back for a second. I have to call for a 2-minute pause to allow the public to submit their final comments on the items. Commissioners, as a reminder, please refresh the view of your screen to ensure new comments appear.
I put the link in the chat for everybody.
And so Urban, do you want to start the timer or?
Yeah, hold on. Let me set that up. Thought I was ready with this, but I guess I wasn't.
Okay. So the commenting period for this item is closed. Have the commissioners had enough time to read the comments? Did we get any comments?
Nope.
Okay. Let's see. Do the commissioners wish to pull an item for discussion or question? No? Okay, so is there a motion to approve? I think we already had a motion.
I second it.
Okay,
Who made
so
the motion?
who made the first motion?
Ed,
Oh, Commissioner Ward made the motion to approve and Commissioner Maynard seconded that motion.
Okay.
Right? Okay. And, all right, so Secretary, please conduct the roll
All right.
call
So
vote.
we just get my paperwork in order here. I'm going to request each member's vote by roll call. Commissioner Bishop,
Aye.
Commissioner Kosi, Commissioner Maynard,
Aye.
Commissioner Redondo,
Aye.
Commissioner Roberts,
Aye.
Vice Chair Rodriguez,
Aye.
Senator C. Rodriguez. Commissioner Ward.
Aye.
Chair Gray's absent. All right. Motion passes.
Okay. So, okay. So, you know, we don't have clarifying questions, so shall we skip the 2-minute pause or do we need to open the floor
Well,
for that?
so now we do have to go do the general public comments thing. So this is where the public can say whatever they want if they are public. So I'm going to go ahead and do the timer. So once again, let me share my screen. The link is still there on the chat. I just wanna...
I want to see what Larissa's making when she's done.
Get out of town. Can you see it?
Nice.
Okay, the commenting period for public comments is now closed. Have the commissioners had enough time to read the submitted comments? Did we get any comments?
There were no comments received nor emails to me.
Oh, okay. Okay. So now I'll request each member's vote by roll call.
Well, you don't really have to vote at this point. So
Because we don't have enough to vote.
there's nothing to vote.
Yeah. So, okay, so let's go to public comments. Public comments is a section on the agenda for members of the public to address the board on items that are not listed on the agenda And I'll call for a 2-minute pause to allow the public to submit any final public comments. Comment at the new comment screen for any new ones.
Vice Chair Rodriguez, I'm not sure if we skipped or if I jumped ahead. Because I think we're good for.
Good for any?
There were none. So because I thought we were already at that section, so I think we're good.
Okay, so can we go into
Dogs have a lot to say, though.
they have comments.
They had a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we can move on to 3.
Let's do item 3, the art presentation for the new Sweetwater Park at Chula Vista Bayfront. And this is with artist Roberto Salas. Will Mr. Salas please share his presentation, his screen?
Well, I'll share the artwork. So I'm just going to go ahead and Roberto, go ahead and oh, where'd you go? Yeah, just go ahead and you can just go ahead and start talking. And let me know when you want me to show the images.
All right. Can everybody hear me, please?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, excellent. Good deal. First of all, thank you for the invitation. And Edwin, you're a heck of a tech guy, man. Thank you for your help there. I just wanted to, a few months ago, I applied for the Port of San Diego commission, and luckily I had an interview, and I guess I must have impressed them, but they liked me, so I was selected. And I was not selected with a particular piece or a proposal. I was selected based on work that I had done before. So I don't really know what I'm going to do, and we're just doing the legalities right now. But I had called Mayor Salas and talked to her about it because it's in your area, it's in your district, and I just wanted to get a little bit of feedback, but I also wanted to introduce myself in the event that there might be some future information or consulting or anything that I might be of service to this particular committee. I've been here in San Diego since the early 80s. I came into grad school. I was very fortunate to work with a lot of the faculty at UCSD, and that was an incredible gift that I got. I've been around making art here and there in different places, a little bit of teaching part-time here and there, but most of the time it's been dedicating myself to the artwork and the community as a social practice artist. So I'd like to share, Edwin, can we put the first image up, please?
Hold on. Let's see. Unfortunately, Roberto, I should have asked you for high-res images, so I'm going to try to share what I have. It's a little.
All right. I apologize for that. That's something we.
No, it's good. I should have actually given you that.
See how they look.
I should ask you for that first. So.
Okay. You can get a general idea. This is a commission from the San Diego Arts Commission, and it was some time back, a few years back, but I was charged to do something in the Nestor community, and the area has a very transient kind of population demographic from all over. And this is an area where it's a water reclamation plant, and they didn't want to call it a park. They wanted to call it a green space. So I designed this green space with these upright stelas that have a lot of sandblasted imagery. These are the 4 stelas that are dealing with the 4 directions, and then there's seating. There's 12 stelas all throughout the whole park and the walk. But one of the key features of this piece, may I have the next one, please?
Hopefully it's in sequence. Hold on just a moment. I have to shrink it down before I can do it.
There you go. There you go.
The kids?
Yeah, the kids. We can put the kids. One of the things that we have meetings, and there's always focus group. That particular night that we had this meeting, when I was selected as the artist, I dealt with all these people that had more than 40 ideas and concepts of what they wanted to see. And in it, they gave me an incredible list of things that Nestor was known for historically, invention of, for instance, the drip system that a lot of Japanese people did. There was a dairy there. There was all kinds of things. So I figured, how am I going to satisfy this group? I went home with such a headache that I figured, well, tomorrow's another day. But in the meantime, I thought about the fact that because there are so many children in the area, let's see the other image, please, Edwin.
All
I
right.
figured that there would be something that would create a focus for the children. And what I created is a 20-foot diameter sandbox or sand circle that has all the imagery and all the work that was translated at that meeting into a visual relief, like a bias relief. And it's created out of this material called GFRC, which is fiber reinforced concrete, which is very durable, but yet lightweight. And so we created this pizza, and it has drainage, and then covered it with sand. So the idea here is that the kids from the neighborhood come in, and the moms can wait, or the dads can wait on the benches, and the kids can go uncover the recent history, like archaeological find. And there is also a legend where you can go say, find the pizza with the bite in it. There's some silly things like that to all kinds of things that you can imagine. So I think it became very successful. They liked it, they approved it, and it's been in existence for a while. Image, please. Here's another view of it. You could see it with the sand, but these stones are brought in from northern New Mexico, and my intention at one time was to make them out of concrete, but it seemed like bringing the stones from a quarry from upstate New Mexico, it was easier and less money than actually make them out of concrete. So they have this certain presence, and some people say, oh, I can hear it. They're in tune with the universe and everything else that goes with something as such as this. Image, please. Okay, here we go. This is the facade of the Southwestern College
There's
library.
a close-up, right? You want me to go to the close-up, or do you want to?
Yeah, a little close-up would be probably, they can see a
Well,
little
let me see if I move to the next. Would that be it?
Yeah, that would be good. You can pull it up. Yeah.
There you
This, I was called in, I was teaching there, and I was called in by the president at the time. And he was a Latino Hispano man who said that he wanted to create a facade for this new building that spoke about the Maya architecture and the pride in the Maya design that's throughout the campus. So he charged me with some kind of a facade that I would be paid a designer fee. So it took me a few months when doing a lot of research, and lo and behold, I found this deity. It's called Deity D, because it is the deity called Itznama. And there are usually two designs that depict Itznama, and he's the one that taught us the art of writing and reading through the Maya culture. And I said, oh my goodness, this is perfect. This is like right on target. So I introduced it, I talked about it, and gave from the research, which is I do a lot of research, a lot of reading, and they were very happy with it. And that graces the facade of the library in two different forms. And this is limestone concrete, and we made a gigantic, huge stencil out of plastic and then had the sandblast, and it creates the image. It's almost like drawing on concrete, and it's there permanently. So that's one of the beautiful things about this type of work, is that it's an exhibition and most likely will outlive the artist. Thank you. The next one, please.
Oops, I think that was it. Let me see.
Really?
That was weird. Okay. I thought
a few more.
let's see here. Let me go backwards. No, that was it. That's all I got.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's all I saw on your. You had like just a few. So.
All right. Well, I'll just go back and talk a little bit more. But I've done projects in the LA Metro and Los Angeles, sculpture, working out of steel. I've done murals. I've worked throughout. I've worked in parts of Northern California as well as international. I've taught in China and Japan, things of that nature. But I've been a very fortunate artist in that I have been learning as I've been sort of sharing any information. And
sorry, Roberta, I do have one. I found that you emailed to me. You want me to?
Let's put it up there. Yeah, because I thought I'd send you quite a few, but
no, I only got like a couple of them, so I wasn't sure what.
Okay. Let's see so you can get an idea. Oh, okay. This is one that I'm very proud of. This piece. If you can zoom in a little, there you go. Because of the fact that it's in Watts, California. That's 103rd Street station from the Metro that comes from Long Beach all the way to downtown Los Angeles. And the reason I'm kind of proud of this is because if you've ever been to Watts, you must see Watts Towers. You must go see that incredible work by Sam Rodia. And Sam Rodia was an immigrant who came from Italy and was a mason. And he collected all these little charts of glass and plates and stuff and made these beautiful towers. He bought a little property and built a house. But the actual artwork that he was construction was emulating Marco Polo's ship. And it's gone through time. It is the most incredible piece I have ever seen. I saw it as a kid, and luckily enough, I won this competition right next door to him. But if you can see a little closer, I don't know if you can zoom in a little bit more, Edwin.
I can try.
Let's try it. Let's
Might
see
get a
what
little.
happens. Well, if you notice the cutouts up on top, I created this totemic. Yeah, there you go. Those cutouts are the chops that the conductors for the big red car used to use when they would validate your ticket, almost like a transfer punch. There were almost over 1,000 conductors. Interesting enough, the big red car, which were these beautiful cars, you've probably seen them in the Abbott and Costello movies, but there's the Paris, California museum, a railroad museum that I actually got to see these. And in doing research, I found out that these conductors had their chops. So I use those chops as items there to bring something from the past into the future. There's an African-American community there, plus Latino. And I went into the community center and I asked them if they had any kind of dichos or sayings that dealt with time. Of course, time and tide waits for no one. So those are engraved in tile in the bottom of the platforms. And while you're waiting for them, you can actually read them. And one in English, one in Spanish. And hopefully there'll be somebody to translate. But the Watts Tower is very close to here. Did you find something else?
No, that was it.
That was it. Okay. Well,
Unfortunately.
that gives you an idea. There's so much more work that I've done, and plus I paint in my studio, which is sort of personal work that I do. This public artwork has to have a certain amount of social consciousness because it's can't really be so much of my personal thing. It's more of trying to find something to create a site-specific work that really talks to the people who are there and who are going to be using it. I don't live in Watts, but I frequent the area when I take people to go see the towers, or economically I'll buy an ice cream there or something, or try to get gas, because I think that that's one of the things that's important about public art. It creates an economic engine. Quick example, I did a project I was the lead artist for the Open Spaces Museum of San Diego. There were several artists who were charged with 2 projects each. I did my 2 projects, but unfortunately, the person that was going to work in the National City area left for another position. There was another artist, he left too. So they called me and I created this piece within 3 months of its deadline. And it's these road signs with reflective vinyl that are in the 3 parks that are done by the community, installed by the community. And the interesting thing enough is that we went and got city council approval. And it was like the epitome of a community project because everybody worked in it, from little kids. And the fact that a reflective vinyl, you can cut it through a machine or hand cut it, sticky bag, and I hear it. If you're in the National City, any of those parks, Palmas Park, Kimberly Park, you'll see the reflective roads, and it's the best time to see them is at nighttime. Anyway, those are some of the things that I wanted to share and become familiar with some of you people, and offer you my services. And if there's any kind of interest or anything of suggestion as far as this place, like I tell you, it's in the waterfront. I don't exactly know what we're going to do or what's going to become of it, but hopefully we can engage people into being prideful of the fact that they have art in Chula Vista, and the fact that you're also trying to create more work and bring in more people in to enhance the city. So if you have any questions, I'll certainly entertain them. Yes, Kate. Hi, Kate. You look familiar.
Hi, Roberto. I had the honor of being on the panel that did the judging to pick you. So
that's why you look familiar.
Yeah,
Well,
we
thank
were
you
all
so
knocked
much.
out. We were absolutely knocked out by you. And the work, trust me, I've gotten to see more of the work that he's been talking about, and it's really fantastic. I think just as I can report that our conversations as a committee of the things that we were trying to find a good fit for was somebody that does bring in the community. Like that was a big plus on your side. Somebody that does have the ability to reflect the fact that we are a binational area and really kind of try, including the Pacific Ocean. I mean, this place where is this meeting space where these three things come together, and also the natural beauty of the estuary and the fact that the park is abutting that. So we're really excited to see what you can bring to the table. But I love the fact that so much of your work really reflects the community that you create your art in. So thank you for that. And I'm really excited to see what you're going to. I was all excited because I actually announced that you had been chosen at the last meeting, but I wasn't able to say your name because it hadn't been told to all the artists. So I was like, oh, he's great. You guys are going to love him. So I'm very excited to see your presentation today. Thanks so much.
Well, thank you so much. Very much appreciate it. You know, that's wonderful. That's nice to hear. You know, sometimes you don't hear any of that any further than what one does there. Thank you.
Well, I'm your girl on the inside.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
I pass Southwestern College all the time and see the murals on the wall. They're beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. It's nice to do something that fits well and it sort of rings a bell for everyone. It's sort of like this common thread between all of us, you know. And that's what I seek and I try to embrace. You know?
So do we have any more questions before we go to a public comment? Nope. Okay. All right. So, okay, I'll call, but thank you, Mr. Salas, for being here to share your art with us.
My pleasure. Thank you for the invite.
Thank you. I'll call now for that 2-minute pause to allow for public comments and submit any final. Commissioners, remember to refresh your screen.
Can public comments be made here or only through the chat?
No, it could be, so you can see public comments on the on that the link that I sent you, which has that gets sent out to the public. That link shows the agenda and if they want to comment before, and the chat as well. But people can actually go on to this as well. It's just a comment.
But it can't be like verbally, like right now.
No. Well, no, I can. I mean, if we have attendees.
But you're not the public.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't have any public right now attending the meeting, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Erwin, I think I'm looking at the wrong thing. I'm in the chat, and the only link that's in the chat for me is the agenda.
That's one. Yeah, that's the other way. So if you look at it, you can actually see like little parts that people can comment on. So
I just don't see if there is public comment on anything.
yeah, if it's 0 comments, that's, I mean, no one's made it.
Got it.
So
Thank you.
yeah, so.
Okay, so there are no comments. We're going to move on to item 4, the elimination of the arts, emergency arts support, I think that's the name, subcommittee, and reassign those numbers.
The member. So let me clarify, since I do have the information. So First of all, Roberta, if you want to stick around, this is the part. I mean, if you want to listen in, you can. You don't have to. I mean, you're done with the presentation, but we're just.
All right, well, I'll
It's
take
up to
my
you.
leave, and again, thank you so much for the invitation.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for being.
Nice to meet
Thank you so
everybody.
much.
Thank you. I'm available for any need you might have. Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
So let me clarify. So elimination of the emergency art support subcommittee and reassign the members. So this came out of the emergency art support subcommittee meeting, which took place very quickly because there was a realization that perhaps the subcommittee should really be part of the economic development subcommittee. So that was the suggestion then, because as we met, it was kind of like, well, why are we here? We should be really in the economic development subcommittee. So so the question here is, maybe we need to eliminate it and then reassign the rest of its commission members to the economic development. So the two members there were Chair Bishop, I think, and was it Commissioner Ward?
No,
Right.
sir, I was not on that commission. I was not on
I mean,
that.
I'm sorry, not Bishop. I'm sorry.
Chair
Chair
Gray.
I'm sorry. Chair Gray. I'm like looking at two different documents and I'm like getting the two words mixed up here. Sorry. Yeah, Chair Gray and Commissioner Ward. And I think that was the discussion. We just kind of, it was like a 10-minute meeting.
So do we need to make a motion?
Well,
Yes, unless you have questions.
yeah, first, are there any questions or
Yeah.
comments?
Yeah, I think you
What
have to
happened at the
do the whole,
meeting?
I think you have to do the whole clarifying questions and 2-minute public pause thing too. So
Okay. Do the commissioners have any clarifying questions for staff before we go to public comments?
did you all understand what I said? Was not the most eloquent statement.
So is the move to put the people that were in that subcommittee into the development subcommittee?
Yeah.
Okay. How many people would be in the development subcommittee at that point
I
then?
think, well, Chair Gray he's not gonna be part of it, so it would just be Commissioner Ward
Okay.
would be part of it.
Any other thoughts or questions before we do our 2-minute comment? Okay. So let's go ahead. I'll call for that 2-minute pause to allow the public to comment to submit any final comments on the item before commission deliberation. Commissioners, please refresh your screens.
I want to clarify a little bit. So the chat is really the public who are attending this meeting cannot chat. And so that's why that link that I gave you is what is for the public to be able to make comments. That chat feature is really just for the panelists.
Okay, the commenting period for this item is now closed. Let's see, do we have any comments? We have none.
We have none and no emails.
None and no yes. Okay. So then we're going to go to a vote then. I'll request each member's vote by roll call.
We need a motion.
Yes. Oh, that's true. Right there. Okay. So I'm looking for a motion.
I move to eliminate the Emergency Arts Support Subcommittee and reassign the members.
Okay.
A
So
second.
Commissioner Bishop motions and then Commissioner Maynard seconds. Okay, so Mr. Secretary, if you could go ahead and conduct the roll for that.
All right. Commissioner Bishop,
Aye.
Commissioner Kosi, absence. Commissioner Maynard,
Yes.
Commissioner Redondo,
Aye.
Commissioner Roberts,
Aye.
Vice Chair Rodriguez,
Yes,
Commissioner T. Rodriguez.
Aye.
Commissioner Ward.
Aye.
Great. And motion passes. And Chair Gray is absent.
Do we skip Commissioner Redondo?
No. He said aye.
Okay, my brain is not functioning, sorry.
That's right. Remember, I called you Chair Bishop, so it's like okay. It's all right.
It's late.
We're all good. All
Okay,
right.
let's move on to 5. So the next item is number 5, contributions to asset mapping subcommittee resource list. Okay, so staff, so what presentation do you have?
Yeah, so I want to let you all know this is a direct result, a specific action from one of the subcommittees. So this is from the asset mapping subcommittee. There was a request to put this on the table to vote today. Just kind of to show you that this is like what happens in the subcommittee can actually be an actionable item for the rest of you. So the recommendation is that each commissioner would add their own arts resources to the asset mapping subcommittee resource list. And what the resource list is just a list of everything that is arts related in Chula Vista, whether it be artists, whether it be groups, venues, funding sources, all of that. It's just whatever you can think of that are, that is in Chula Vista that could be contributed to asset mapping is what's being requested. Because within that subcommittee, the discussion was, well, we don't know everything to add to this resource list, so why don't we reach out to the other commissioners to help out? So that's really the ask here from everybody in that the subcommittee is, will the rest of the commissioners contribute to that resource list? So what that's going to look like is at this time, because I'm not sure if I could share with you the Google Doc that I created for the subcommittee for this, because that might establish a quorum in some ways. So I'll have to ask the clerks to specify. But for now, I will email you all the categories, and then you can just kind of like add the information on and email me back. So that's what it would look like if you all decide to vote for this. So again, this is if you're all okay with contributing to the resource list for that asset mapping subcommittee.
I have a question. Before discussion, if you share a shared doc, a Google shared doc, but you send it to people individually so that they can only correspond with you, is that not a quorum?
Well, it's
Because
not
it's a
going to be,
shared doc?
that's the thing, I won't be sharing the doc. It'll have to be just an email manual, like, well, here are the people I know under this category, or these are the venues I know under this category. So that's something I'll have to, I'm probably going to end up doing. I will confirm with the city clerks to see like if that's even doable, because it's funny because all these like Robert's Rules of Order, I'm not sure how compatible they are with today's collaborative online tools, because
Yeah.
I don't know. So I'll have to ask that question, because there is a lot of Because it is a new, this is our online world now. We collaborate, we have to, but we also have to figure out where that, if it starts crossing the line for the commissions and boards, like, is this collaborative tool a quorum? Is this, or not? So this is actually a pretty good question I'm going to ask, and hopefully others will, other boards and commissions will have some input as well.
I have a thought on that, if I may. I just, because I just did a lot of training for my school board stuff. One of the things we did was the Brown Act. And if you are a staff member, you do not count as hub and spoke, provided you're not telling each of us what the other members are saying. So if we just send you our ideas via email, you can input it. Like that should be okay vis-a-vis Brown Act issues.
And that's what that's exactly what I was trying to do. That would be the format. Everyone just kind of like funnel information to me. I'll
Right.
put it on the resource list, and then that resource list stays within the subcommittee so that there's not a majority.
Gotcha.
Right? So then the asset mapping subcommittee can then use that to just continue to build the map of resources.
Did we ever have a mapping committee before? Did we have a list before? I could see updating the list, but I thought maybe we had this because I know there was like 200 different areas in Chula Vista that members were supposed to go to and verify they were still there. So is there a list from previous committees that we can look at?
So from what I heard was there was a list, it needed to be updated, and the list was not shared, I guess, not broadly shared. So I think there was, but I think we need to, especially with the changes, with the significant changes that have happened now, I think it would be good to just kind of start, from there. I mean, start just like from new, I guess, it's from scratch.
Oh.
I think there was one, and I actually have not seen it.
And so I think I was on the committee and I never saw the list of locations that we were supposed to go to in person.
Yeah. So now we can start a new one.
Okay.
Okay. Are there any other clarifying questions for the commissioners or staff before we go to public comments, and then we'll deliberate? Thoughts, suggestions, anyone? Okay. All right, so we'll now call for a 2-minute pause to allow the public to submit any final comments on the item before commissioner deliberation. Commissioners, please refresh your screens. Okay, time's up. So this is commenting
comments.
period is closed. No comments? Okay.
No comments, no emails.
No, okay. So no motions either. Now, am I looking now for a motion to, okay, so I need a motion then to,
I move to create a commission contributions mechanism for asset mapping subcommittee resource list, whereby we send ideas to Erwin directly.
thank you. So Commissioner
A lot of
Bishop.
words, sorry.
So Commissioner Bishop makes the motion. Do I have a second?
I second.
Okay. Commissioner Maynard seconds. Okay. So, Mr. Secretary, let's go for a vote, please.
Oh, I thought that was me there. All right. Commissioner Bishop.
Aye.
Kosi, absent. Commissioner Maynard.
Aye.
Commissioner Redondo.
Aye.
Commissioner Roberts.
Aye.
Vice Chair Rodriguez. Commissioner T. Rodriguez.
Aye.
Commissioner Ward.
Aye.
All right. And Bree is absent. Motion passes.
Okay. Next item, let's do item 6, staff comments. Presentation.
I have a couple of things. Hold on. I just wanted to show you. I'm going to try to show you. So, are you all familiar with the Chromosol sculptures that were on 3rd Avenue? Those kind of like big lollipop things?
Yes.
Okay, so those have been moved because of the Third Avenue Village Association, because they've been updating that all of 3rd Avenue, that whole area. So they had to remove the chromosomes, but then they relocated them here at the library. So I'm going to try to show you the picture. Hold on just a moment. Oh, I had it up, but I didn't. All right, I'm going to share this. Hold on. All right, ta-da, there it is. So, so these two items here, or two items, these two sculptures here were put there. They used to be in places where we had trees out there on the west side of the Civic Center Library, right there on the corner of 4th and F, across from the police department and from City Hall. And I have to say, and I wish I took a better picture of this when it was sunnier, but I have to say it looks amazing. It feels like it should have been there already. That these two were made for there. In between, you can barely see it because of the lamppost. There is is another sculpture called the Pleasant Tree. For those who are not familiar with it, I just wanted to show you because that is kind of it was kind of a big thing that they were able to install it, and it was just kind of a surprise all of a sudden, because I knew that we've been trying to do this for a year, and they were able to install the two Chromosol sculptures there. So if you want to swing by the library, take a better look at it, better than this picture, yeah, it's been kind of fun to take a walk around the block and kind of see these up there. And the Pleasant Tree sculpture in the middle is by Jorge Blanco. I don't know if you're familiar with his work, but this is apparently a very seminal work for him. This is the first time he's done this shape. This is when he started this this type of sculpture, and he has a fondness in his heart for this particular one because I think it was his first one. So anyway, take a look at it whenever you're around the library. I just wanted to show that off. Let me stop.
Yeah, I was actually on a subcommittee that last year, the year before last, where we were working on that. They were calling it like an art orchard.
Yeah.
And they were going to try and get sponsorships for a mural there, and then also
let me show you that picture again.
Those like tile type things where people paint the tile, for money or whatever. But I don't think that was right before COVID, and then everything went to crap.
Yeah, so this area we do have plans to add a little more art here into this part of the west-facing side of the library. We are still waiting because our stucco needs to be redone. So once that's done, then we'll think about the mural project. But we do have plans in the works to just kind of clean this up and make it a little more, yeah, sort of the art side of the Civic Center Library. So yes, we're excited, but again, as with everything, paused with the pandemic. So the other thing I wanted to announce to you all, and I'll send you the email for it. Some of you already got a spoiler from me from the subcommittees, but you do have the opportunity now to have your own headshots and bios for the Commission for Arts, the Cultural Arts Commission webpage that's coming up. So this is totally optional, but if you want, it's really the purpose is so that the public can see and know our commissioners and board members a little better. So we did dedicated pages to each board and commission, including this one, to just highlight the commissioners, and people can kind of open the page and see your faces and get a bio. So again, totally optional. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But I will send you the email for that information. There'll be a PDF with all the different guidelines for it, how to do the bio, the headshot, and that's going to be due by the end of the month. So it gives you a good 3 weeks to work on your bio and your headshot, if you choose to do so. But I'll send that to you. Not sure tonight, maybe tomorrow morning. I'll send it to you all. So those are my only two. I don't really have anything else. Do you have any questions for me?
How about the committee reports?
Oh, you all are going to be doing that next section, but I'll help you all.
Cool. Thanks. It's nice to take a look into the past with those orange circles. Remembering what it was like on Third Avenue. It's neat. Let's see. And any last questions, comments before we go to item 5?
I have a question regarding where the circles came from. What's going to be done with that space?
On Third Avenue?
Yeah, was it in the middle, or was it, I can't.
Yeah, well, there was one located on like E and Third,
Right.
and like a couple blocks down again. So those, I think those were like in like big like planter types of things, and I think they just removed those because they did some major reconstruction of what those sidewalks look like. So they're trying to make it more pedestrian friendly. So it's a lot more sidewalk than roads, because it's safer that way. So it's I think
I kind of remember what they used to be. They were in these like big giant like 5x5 square cement trough things that they originally had like succulents and flowers planted under them, but those died in like the first 6 months or so. And so it was just these kind of large planters with a fake tree in it. Well, not fake, with the sculpture in it, but it did look fine. But I think it looks much better this way.
Awesome.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was going to look like. It looks like it should have just been here since the beginning. It looks really good. It matches the terracotta on the tiles on our roof, so it looks great.
That's awesome. Yeah, for some reason I thought it was like actually part of that empty lot on Third and E. But I guess it must not have been. It was like away from that, right? Do we know what's happening with that empty lot? I know that's kind of a side question, but
I thought I knew, but I thought I knew because I know engineering had mentioned it, and I completely forgot what they were going to do with that. I don't know. Oh gosh.
Don't they use that as a farmer's market on Thursday nights or something like that?
Yeah, but I think they're
using Church Street for that mostly. That in my experience. I will say this: I've always had this dream that we would have a community garden in that space, or in the space kitty corner from that across the street at that empty lot that used to be the auto place.
That
Right.
would be really cool. I know that the auto place, there was an issue because they had some sort of tanks underground that they removed and it was toxic, so they couldn't build things on it for a certain amount of years. Like it's like
Yeah.
20 years or something. That was the same problem with Roar.
And General
Yeah.
Dynamics.
Well, then the other side. I don't know. I think the community garden would be awesome anyway.
We want to do a community garden here at the library. We have space for it, but it's just facing the wrong. We have a nice space, like, but it's facing the wrong side. I think it's north facing, and it's not. You want it south facing. So
You could do an entire garden of lettuce.
And some strawberries. You could do strawberries too.
yeah, but it's still on the table. We want to do it somewhere. I mean, maybe the South Library would work, but I really wanted it here. I really wanted one here. And I think we had community members who were ready to do it as well. So still on the table. Who knows?
Cool. Cool. All right, let's go to, what is this, item 5, chair comments. It's not a comment, but I did have one thing. I was hoping during this time, normally in January, or sorry, we're in February, we're a month out from the opening of the McCandless Awards, the Rising Star Award, and we're opening that up to students at school. Can you tell me if are we still on track for a March open, and how are we going to either encourage or promote this in the schools?
From my understanding, the McCandless Awards are on pause as well, in addition to everything else. So that's my understanding. I can check again, but I'm pretty sure because of everything going on, we had to pause it. I know because a teacher has reached out to me about it, and I asked and was told probably not this year, unfortunately.
Well, since we didn't get last year and then this year, are we accumulating those funds?
That's something I need to, unfortunately, because of all the overlapping of the funding of this year and that year, there's still a lot of accounting that still needs to be done from all the PVAG winners. I actually was gonna present that next meeting to kind of tell you all where we were as far as money, leftover money. But as far as I know, the funding is at where we don't really have funding, and that's what I keep getting told.
Last year and this year?
Yeah.
For
There's
McCandless?
going to be, and it's going to continue. Well, it's going to be continuing for a while because of the fact that there is no revenue from the amphitheater. And even if they open up, there will be a lagging kind of a situation.
The funds for the PVAG have always been from the amphitheater, but the one from McCandless was internally from the city. So
I can check on that. Yeah, the funding from the city for something like that, I'll have to check on it. Unfortunately, I know from the IFC, the International Friendship Commission, is something similar where that funding is no longer there either because of the last budget situation we had last year, so it was kind of not available. So.
Okay, well then let's scratch off McCandless.
I will check, but
Okay. And the only other thing I was wondering about is if it's possible, since everyone met in their subcommittees, that we could agendize those for next month, and that we can have a real healthy and long discussion for each one of them, so we're all abreast of what's going on and how we can participate. Is that on the agenda for next month?
Actually, I was just gonna go around and just if anyone wants to just kind of talk about what main points that were talked about at the in the subcommittees.
Cool, we can do that.
So we can just do that right now. I mean, I think what I was hoping was that with this discussion, there were from this particular discussion, people can then present things for on the agenda for next time, if there are things like that. I mean, for instance, like the asset mapping one came up with with this particular action item from earlier. So I guess we can start. We can just go start with arts curation, and Commissioner Bishop, if you want to talk about what what you wanted to talk
How I
about.
just like talked at you for an hour and you just indulged me. Yeah, sure.
Good ideas. Go ahead. Yeah.
So thank you so much. So there were two ideas that kind of came out of the meeting that I was excited about. One is the fact that we have a web page and it's kind of sitting what is it? Follow? I can't remember. Anyway, it's not being used quite so much at this point. And what if we have a page that becomes a virtual art gallery for local artists, and especially having a subsection for student art? I wanted to reach out to the Chula Vista Council of PTAs just hosted their yearly art contest. Reflections is the name of it. And we have a bunch of artwork that we usually do. Sorry, I'm switching hats right now. I am on the council PTA. We usually have a reception, an art reception for the kids that got all the way up to the district level. And because this year we are unable to do so. And so all of these kids that submitted work, there's really no place to show it off. And combination of that, and there's VAPA teachers in the Chula Vista Elementary School District who are assigning work to these kids. So there's work being created by our students and there's no place for it to be shown off. So how about we kickstart our virtual art gallery with student artwork? And wouldn't that be cool? That was one idea that got thrown out. The other one is the idea of trying to remount the Chula Vista Film Festival in a virtual context, where we can try and get filmmakers from our area to get to show off their work. Obviously, this is something that would take more time to put together than a virtual art gallery, but we thought that might be a kind of those would be good goals to go after. And if there's any way that, or if anybody has any ideas from other subcommittees on how to achieve these, that would be awesome.
I have a question. Those are such great ideas. I love that. And I think another commissioner last month mentioned that it doesn't have to be from someone from the South Bay, or Chula Vista, but it happening in South Bay. And I'm not sure if you know, but there is a South Bay Asian Film Festival or something to that nature at Otay Ranch Mall every year, where it's done outdoors, but they still have it. And it's possible maybe that space could be used, it's a film festival. So maybe they're featured, whatever, however you want to use it, that's a contributor. And in the past, at least 10 years ago, when I started, they have a art show exhibit at the courthouse. So there are different people in Chula Vista, either in the Chula Vista the Arts Guild, or they would rotate putting their art there. And since I don't know if it's still open, but our commission wasn't a part of that. So maybe we could use, what leverage we have in our abilities to showcase that. Or maybe, there's more suggestions, a pool of people. Then of course it brings to how are we going to do this? What manpower do we have to put it together? But there's just a few I could think of. Love the idea. So love it.
I guess the one question I have is the webpage idea is something that can be done relatively immediately, because it would just be a matter of asking our webmaster to go ahead and create start activating the web page for this, and at least just do, I don't know, we can there's stuff that can be done. So if it's doable and if it's something that's that can be I guess, done in the next few months or so. It's something you can uh, table for next meeting where you all can decide whether you want to do that, and which, that whoever wants to make that motion is, you know, to make me go and talk to our communications and and say, hey, we the commission voted to do this. Is it doable? So yeah.
Can we add performing arts? Can it be people like who are dancers who they can't get together for groups and they have their own stuff on TikTok or whatever, or recitals at home or something, Can it be a number of those things? I mean, do we have to set up criteria of like age groups and, you have image releases, for minors, and there's a couple other things to that, music, there's a copyright issue, but overall, is it something we can use as a showcase in Chula Vista?
Well, it's definitely something to discuss when, for next meeting, when you vote on it, like what do you want this to be?
Well, in terms of the student art, I'm very happy to connect with the VAPA coordinator for the district. That's something that would be very much in my wheelhouse. So I would love to, if we're down for this, I would love to help at least get that part on the rails a little bit. And also, obviously, if the reflection stuff is literally things that are already there. So it would be the reason that I liked these two ideas is that it's one that's short-term payoff and one that's long-term payoff, right? A goal that we can work towards. So anyway.
And we can also use that as bait for asset committee too, because then it's just one more stream of, it's a network that they can connect to and, one approach.
Yeah, and that's where you can talk to asset mapping and say, wait, do you know of any groups or like way for us to be able to do this? So yeah. That's when you start using each other. And it's all, as I've mentioned to, I think all of the subcommittees, it's all tied together. All of it's tied together because there may be an economic development component of it, of course. There may be grant opportunities for whoever wants to be part of this. And then marketing is definitely an important one. So, yeah. It all kind of crosses over into each other. All right. So, Commissioner Redondo, do you want to? Oh, where do you go? Is he there?
I'm here.
If you want to talk a little bit about the meeting for the economic development subcommittee ideas there, I know there were a lot of ideas that were coming forth.
Yeah. We talked about a couple, one of their main things that we talked about was about funding and how to kind of work through the hurdles that we have, raising funds and being able to how to structure that and how to work with council to figure out different ways to make sure that we have increased funding to help promote different activities. So we had a long discussion around that. We had a discussion around granting, working. We still kind of have to work through this, but one of the big ideas was offering tax credits to local businesses to incentivize artists to do arts around the city. And so one of the things that we would probably bring to the committee at some point is a recommendation to bring to council to offer some sort of tax incentive for that. And then the other piece, we had a discussion around the was it the Y or the art space?
Yeah, the codename Casa Casillas. Yes.
Yeah.
That was the old Y building over there.
Yeah, we talked about that for a while and kind of what that's going to look like, and about kind of our role as a committee in that. So that's going to be another piece that we're going to explore a little bit more, get back to the committee. And then one of the other pieces that we chatted about right towards the end of our meeting was about economic development of the city and how arts bring an economic development component to the city, and figure out some way to really do some sort of economic impact study to help show to the council the value that art brings to city of Chula Vista. So those were kind of the main core ideas that we talked about during the subcommittee. And like I said, we'll be fleshing those out a little bit more at our next subcommittee meeting and bringing those to the full committee for a vote.
Those are great
Is that it?
ideas. Go ahead.
Nope, that's about it. I don't know if you have anything else to add or.
No, those are, those are great. I mean, I was really inspired after that meeting. You came up with some really great ideas.
Mhm.
And I'll still check with our economic development department about the tax credits for businesses. I'll give you a little more information about, if that's, the viability of that. So if they're ready for that as well.
Okay.
How in the past we talked about a Friends of the Arts in Chula Vista, and do you have an update on anyone that might have still reached out to you to express an interest in starting something? I mean, I know we were talking many different streams of funding, not solely on the businesses, but just to show that in the interim that we have, that art still exists, that we're still here, and we have something, even if it's online or our website or something, but it's not even sponsored things from PVAG or any of those things, but we had a promotion from Friends of the Arts, a nonprofit or something like that. Is that still in the talks?
I can tell
Yeah,
you
we
that.
actually,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
yeah. No, I was just gonna say me and Erwin, Commissioner Kosi had a long conversation about that. We were just kind of brainstorming ideas. I was, kind of wanting to work on some sort of private funding, but Erwin said that there's difficulties around that. So that's just something that we're gonna have to hammer out a little bit more.
One of the options that we talked about before was sending it through the Friends of the Library, and then somehow earmarking it for the arts with, kind of that was a conversation. That was a conversation that we had. So
I can tell you that that there may be good news on that front coming up. I don't know if I can share it yet, but there is an awareness that there needs to be some 501c3 that helps with this whole program of cultural arts. So there's an effort right now being made to kind of like to have that happen. So so stay tuned for that.
That's so cool. I can't wait. I can't wait to that.
More.
Okay, so
All right, so let's move on to marketing. So before we go on the marketing, so Commissioner Chi Rodriguez, I apologize. I know that you weren't available for that marketing meeting, but I'll try to make it so that you're part of it as well. I know that you weren't able to make that the Friday one. I believe it's Friday, no, Thursday. Right? Thursday, yeah. So we'll try to we'll definitely bring you in for the next one. I'll try to make sure that both Commissioners Kosi and Maynard are available for when you're available. So Commissioner Maynard, do you want to talk a little bit about the marketing, and what you and Commissioner Kosi were talking about?
Yes, we had quite a few things that were on the agenda. One of the main things that I was concerned with is the status of the money that we already put out there when we had money, meaning the companies, or I should say the different organizations who received the funds, how are they doing now? Are they still alive? Did most of the arts people kind of disintegrate because they can't meet? So what I wanted was some sort of report card done where we can figure out the people that are already there that we've been helping out for the last couple of years. What state are they at? I know there's a restaurant that's on 3rd Avenue that went out of business as of Sunday. And Commissioner Lee said that his mother used to work there, and it's really devastating to the community because a lot of different clubs used to meet at that particular Italian restaurant. So as a result, I think that we should check on the businesses that we already gave money to and see what's happening with them and kind of report back. And so Erwin said that he would check with them and kind of report back to us what's going on. Then the other thing that I believe should happen is maybe a video to the people, or I should say business owners in Chula Vista, and there should be a video about how to survive the pandemic, certain things that they could do in order to keep their business afloat. And that was discussed, and maybe have a panel discussion, because it would be like a it would be a video, but it would be on Zoom. As a result, we thought that was something that was doable. There would be certain people that from the city of Chula Vista that would be speaking about it. There's other people that we can kind of put in there. And the whole thing is to kind of give them little tips on things that they can do. And, you know, and when we find out what their needs are, like maybe a person might need a meeting place, that we can help provide that and give them some suggestions. So it's to find out what they need in order to stay afloat and to try to meet those particular needs.
Yeah, I know Commissioner Kosi had the idea of maybe doing like some sort of like a, what was he doing? Like a pick a design for students and some portion of, and I forget what it was for, but like, what was it for? He said it was a design, and there was like the portion that goes to scholarships and kids get a gift. These are just the things I wrote down, but I forget what the design was for, like maybe a t-shirt or something like that. Oh, it was because the city of Chula Vista came out with the merch page. I don't know if you saw that announcement. So now the city of Chula Vista is coming out with like t-shirts and mugs and everything with the Chula Vista logo on it. So he said like, well, if you can do that, maybe there's a way that the commission can propose that, like, well, maybe we can come up with a design, or like a design contest for kids, and then you know, proceeds go to a scholarship for kids, art scholarships, and then whoever wins the design gets a gift. So things like that. There was one also that I think both of you, Commissioner, made maybe a web page, a checklist for a checklist for artists, for up and coming artists, like what you need, where to go. Again, the web page seems to be, everyone keeps going to the web page. I feel like that's definitely something that we all are going to need to vote on. But a checklist of some sort, where, you know, artists can go and see, like, you know, he was speaking from experience of like, I didn't know where to go, and it would have been nice if someone showed me how to do this and that. So he said, like, you know, maybe something like that for artists in Chula Vista. He also he talked about an events calendar, just like current arts types of things, and I think that also goes with what the arts curation subcommittee does as well. So yeah, just there were a lot of really good ideas. The panel one I really liked. I like that whole concept of like maybe come up with like Zoom panels, like with the different commissioners. Maybe you can, you know, talk about a particular thing about about art, or, you know, different aspects of it, whether it be like how to get funding, or where to, you know, how to market yourself or something like that. But just the idea of like a panel is an easy way to kind of like talk about arts in a way that is people are familiar with. People know like it's a Zoom panel or it's a Zoom webinar. And they're relatively easy to produce. You just kind of talk and you record like what we're doing here. So I really like those ideas, and yeah, just really kind of easy to do and easy to kind of like get started.
Also, we talked about getting the city PR department and also communication department a little more involved. That although we might find that there's certain things that's still going on as far as art events in Chula Vista, to make sure that press releases are written, that people know, and that although we might have a web page or an activity calendar, that we have to get the word out so everybody knows that these things are happening or existing, even if somebody have to go on television and talk about it, or have the different organization go on television and kind of let people know that they're doing things.
That's, I have a quick question about for the committee itself. Have you guys talked about social media? I mean, I know a lot of people don't bookmark the websites. So, social media is the first touch point that we have with them, that's within their phones and many times throughout the day. Do you have any strategies or thoughts about how we can activate that again?
We didn't talk about it only because one thing about social media and the commissions and the boards, social media has to be it has to go through our city communications, our city social media. So social media content is needs to be, if it is something, if there is social media content, it has to originate from the city itself. So it might be a little tricky. I know that since cultural arts is under the library, we have a pretty good social media team here. I mean, it's just a matter of like, what do you want us to do, or like, what do you want us to push out, and then I can just tell our social media / marketing staff, this is what we are trying to do, and is there any help, because then they also work in tandem with the city social media. City social media team is really great because they kind of just let us do what we need to do, and they share our content. So it's just, social media is something that we can definitely do, but it has to just basically be us, the city plays.
Yeah, they have to send it out. We can develop it and tell them what we want, but they have to send it out and they have to approve it.
Yeah.
Well, we can still use that as an advertising arm, right? Just to announce, and then we can funnel any interest through our website, right? To feature artists or events or something.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But
we can also, like someone said earlier, put the different artists or organizations on the website or web page, whatever we develop. We can interview them.
That's awesome. I mean, all the activities sounds like could be on the website, and then it has a broader reach than to use social media and the channel that we've developed, because we have that already. We have our logo and all that. We can just continue from there just to use it as promotion. That's
so
awesome.
Because there are so many good ideas for this, and I know marketing is critical right now. I think that whatever the marketing subcommittee comes up with, and I think what you need to come up with is really kind of a marketing plan of like different things, and then that's something that you all can vote on for next time or a future meeting, and just and then when you vote on it, then basically you tell me what we need to do, and we can the city staff can help facilitate all of that. But it's up to you have to, this is the commission has to vote on what kind of marketing plan you want. Like basically what you all just said right now. It's just social media, webpage, maybe like Zoom content or something like that, and then we can we can start, if you vote on it, then we can start thinking about it here on the city staff end.
But you said you were going to talk to the different organizations that we gave funding to and see their status.
Yeah. So that's still definitely a thing I need to kind of like see where they are. A lot of them did not respond to me the last couple times I've reached out to them. So yeah, I mean, I have a nice bunch of the recipients who did respond. They already, they're good. They completed their grant. They're done with their project, but the rest of them, not yet, not so much. Okay. No information yet. So still waiting, but I'll report on that next time.
Thank you.
All right. So what do we have left?
I think it's just asset mapping, isn't that right?
Asset mapping, yeah.
Commissioner Ward, do you want to comment on what we did, what we spoke of?
Yeah, sure. It was pretty much what Erwin already talked about. We said, first of all, that we wanted to check and see if we can figure out how Lynette was contacting all of the people that she was able to contact. Like when we had an event or whatever, Lynette would just put out a call to artists or whatever, and we were going to try and figure out how she was doing that, whether she had some sort of list or something. And then the other thing that we came up with was that we were just going to ask everyone for their contacts, and we're not really just asking for your contacts. We want anything that you can think of that has anything to do with the arts, whether it's you know, actual artists or whether it's, you know, professional development or anything like that, or organizations, list them, and we're going to try and aggregate them into a single place.
Great. So that's more homework, I guess, for everybody to look in and see, open up your Rolodexes and see who you know, what you know. And I'll be contacting past members, commissioners to request if they have any updates. Would that still be all right
Yeah,
to
that's
connect
fine.
with?
Yeah, that's fine. But I'll, like I said earlier, I'll reach out to each of you to ask for that information so that we can put it in. So, yeah.
Cool. Okay, let's see. I think, are there any other last comments before we close? None? None? Okay. All right. Then it says it is 7:28 p.m. and I am adjourning this meeting to the regular meeting on March the 8th, 2021 at 6 p.m. at 365 F Street, Chula Vista, California. When's our next meeting?
Yeah.
By the way,
March 8th.
March 8th, right?
March 8th, yeah.
Okay.
So just stay tuned to your emails. Because, you know, I need to talk about next time. So good stuff. More subcommittee stuff as well.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, thanks everybody.
Okay, bye.